He was Sergeant John Miller, a man who knew duty. He served his country for 20 long years. He walked through deserts, he climbed mountains. He faced danger with courage in his heart. He was a good soldier through and through. He loved his country. He fought for its ideals. He believed in being a protector. He wore his uniform with great pride and dedication. He always did what was asked. Medals adorned his old uniform. That uniform was now packed away. Each medal told a story, a quiet story of sacrifice, a story of a difficult mission. He led his men bravely. He never left anyone behind, that was his promise. He saw things no one should ever see, terrible things that stayed in his mind. Yet he stood tall for others. He was a hero, an unsung hero perhaps to many, but a hero nonetheless. But wars end. Uniforms are carefully put away. Life after service was a new battle. It was a different kind of fight. The world outside felt loud. It was very confusing. He missed the clear structure of the army. He missed his comrades, his brothers in arms. The silence of civilian life was sometimes the hardest part. It felt empty. He felt a bit lost in the quiet. He searched for peace. He searched for a new place, a place to belong. But doors seemed to close. One by one, they shut. Soon, the city streets became his shelter. His bed was cold concrete at night. His roof was the vast, starry sky. He was Sergeant John Miller, a man lost in the very land he defended. He was still proud, but he was so very tired, so deeply weary. The courtroom felt old, very old. The air inside was heavy. Sunlight struggled to push through tall windows. Dust motes danced in the pale beams. John sat on a wooden bench. It was hard and unforgiving under him. He clutched a worn old hat in his hands. His knuckles were white from gripping it. He felt so small in this big room, so insignificant. He was not a criminal, not in his heart. He knew that. He had broken a small rule, a city rule about sleeping in public places. He just needed shelter from the pouring rain. He meant no harm to anyone, but the law was the law. He understood that principle very well. He had always followed orders. He had lived his life by rules. This was just another rule. The judge entered the room. She was a stern-faced woman. Her black robe flowed behind her as she walked. "All rise!" a voice commanded loudly. The sound of shuffling feet echoed, a soft thud as the judge sat down. John's heart pounded in his chest. He waited for his name to be called. The wait felt like an eternity. He silently prayed for some understanding. "Next case," the clerk announced clearly. "The People versus John Miller." Then, there was a moment of stillness. The judge looked down at her papers. She adjusted her glasses. She looked up, over the rims, at John. "We will call him," she said, her voice steady, "as Sergeant John Miller. Please approach the bench, Sergeant." The title, Sergeant. It echoed in the quiet room. John began to move. He moved slowly. His body ached with a familiar pain. As he took a single step, a sound. A chair scraped nearby on the wooden floor. A man stood up from his seat. An older man. His suit was neat and pressed. His eyes met John's across the room, a look of clear recognition, a look of deep, profound respect. John paused, feeling confused by this. Then another person rose from their seat, and then another. It was like ripples spreading in a still pond. The movement spread quickly, across the entire courtroom. People from all walks of life, young people and old people, men and women. They were all getting to their feet, silently, purposefully. Their faces were turned towards John, waiting, watching, showing something. John stood frozen in his spot. He did not understand at first what was happening. Then it hit him, a sudden wave of strong emotion. His eyes welled with tears. These were not tears of shame or sadness. They were tears of disbelief, tears of immense gratitude. The entire room was standing, for him, a homeless man, a forgotten soldier, but not forgotten now. The judge remained seated on her high bench, but she was not banging her gavel for order. She simply watched the scene. A small, almost imperceptible nod. The prosecutor and the defense attorney. They too were still, looking at the scene unfold before them. The air in the room changed. It was thick with unspoken honor, a profound, silent tribute to a life of service. The silence held. It held for a long moment. Then the judge spoke. Her voice was softer now, much gentler than before. "Sergeant Miller," she began. Her eyes met his. "This court acknowledges your distinguished service." She paused for a moment. "Your many sacrifices for this country, they are not forgotten here today." John could only nod his head. Words caught in his throat. His heart was too full. The legal proceedings continued after that. But the tone in the room had shifted. There was compassion in the air now, a feeling of shared humanity. The prosecutor spoke of the letter of the law. The defense lawyer spoke of the man who stood before them. The judge listened intently to both sides. Her decision was swift. It was one of leniency, and an offer of real help, a place at a local veterans support center. When John left the courtroom later that day, he did not feel alone anymore. A few people nodded to him. Some offered a quiet, "Thank you for your service." He walked taller than he had in years. His shoulders were less slumped. A small flicker of hope rekindled within him. He was seen. He was valued. The community had reached out its hand. His dignity felt restored. This day was a reminder, a very powerful one. Our veterans carry so much with them, so many burdens. They deserve our respect, our unwavering support every single day, not just on holidays. A simple gesture, a courtroom standing. It can ripple outwards. It shows the true strength of community. It proves that honor and compassion can light the darkest paths. We must always remember their service. We must always offer our help.